Hello fellow humans, and today we're going to find out which one is better, the Is7 or the Is4. Which one should you get? As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and special thank you to my channel members. Let's first have a look at the tech trees here, and the seemingly better one is the one leading to the Is4. Why? Because, first of all, Wargaming can't get enough of shoving these shitty tank ranks into your face instead of giving you the screen that is actually useful, and that is this one. Now, the Is8 and the Is3 don't really have that much in common with the Is7 in terms of their armor. Now, as you can see right here, the Is7 has massively better armor, which means if you can suffer through the Is3 and the Is8, which have been power crept quite a bit, then the Is7 will be a breeze. Now, the KV4 is, again, infected by shitty tank ranks, unfortunately. And the problem here is that you have to deal with these extra turret and gun right here, because otherwise with this gun, the tank's going to be a bit meh. And especially the ST1 is stock absolutely painful as well. The Is4 line is somewhat more consistent in how it works. The DPM is fairly similar, however the Is7 has higher alpha damage, however the Is4 has higher premium penetration. And in terms of the weapon handling, they're very much the same, as you can see right here, with very minor differences, and the Is4 being slightly more accurate. And in terms of the mobility, that is where the Is7 wins again, as you can see here. So basically you trade accuracy for mobility. And also have a look at the armor. Now the Is4 has very strong front and side armor, which means it can side scrape very well. If you're face-hugging it, these plates right here are pennable. So fire premium rounds into these and you will be able to go through in most cases. Lower plate, 200mm range is a weak spot. If you try to angle this thing sideways, you have this plate that sticks out. So essentially, with premium ammo, you're gonna go through pretty much all the time, unless the enemy is really angling very, very well. Now, the difference between the Is7 and the Is4 is very simple to spot. First of all, you don't have these plates on the side. However, you can pen the turret down here at this curve if you want to. The upper plate is also very strong, about the same strength. However, if you turn this vehicle, then it will get weaker and weaker. Also, the lower plate is bigger on the Is7. However, the side armor, while not as thick, is definitely better because it is just that more funky. Either shoot at the top here, or shoot on the side of the turret, or shoot down below. Don't shoot at this spaced armor there. A lot of times, it's just simply not going to pen. But both have very good armor profiles that work in slightly different ways. Now, one of the big weaknesses of both of these vehicles is a gun depression, and obviously playing on mines, that is not really that amazing. However, if you're a very skilled player of these, you definitely don't have to worry about things like that. Now, I prefer tanks with gun depression over tanks that don't have it. However, the Is7 is still relatively good despite that. Now, accuracy, it's Russian, so even though it shouldn't hit, it sometimes just hits, like it does with any tank, because RNG exists. And Russian bias does not, probably. So, again, cupola sniping with an Is7 is not something that is doable on the regular. However, if you try it, you might as well. It's nothing. Again, that's 3 out of 3. It's beautiful, because why not? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. It's that simple. And this Yo is not very comfortable in what he's doing right now. He did push up. However, this part of mines, if you go to the outside here, it's just about flat enough to get the Is7's gun down just about fine, which is beautiful. Now, the E50 has decided he wants to die, and he went over there. He's unfortunately also stock, which means his chance of penetrating me is absolutely 0. Basically, the Is7 to a stock tier 9 is impenetrable. To a fully upgraded tier 9 is very difficult to pen. However, for a tier 10 tank destroyer, the hull is basically paper. And another thing they have to consider with the Is7 is the ammo rack. The ammo storage is right below the front plate, which means if you do get shot under those plates, you can get ammo rack somewhat more easy than in other tanks. That's not because the Is7's more prone to blowing up, it's simply because the unfortunate ammo rack placement of the Soviets, because who cares about human lives anyway? That's their doctrine at this point. So, obviously the Is7 is also a very low down vehicle, which means you might not want to face hug an E100 because the E100 can actually fire down into the top of this vehicle. So you might not want to try on that. However, if you're face hugging a vehicle that is of equal height, then that is going to work out just about fine. Now, I can see the enemy Is7's coming at me, but I don't care about him. I'm going to shoot the 6TP because he's the easier target. I also know I have the M103 and the medium tank up there that will shoot at the Is7, so I won't have to worry about losing this fight to him. And now, again, easy shot straight into the side. Shoot. Ideally, you want to shoot in the space between the tracks and the recessed armor. That's the best way to shoot in the side of this tank. That's pretty much always going to be guaranteed to pen. Yep, so right between the top of the armor and the tracks. Now, at this point, I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna, yeah, that would have never hit, but anyway, doesn't matter. And T22 medium. He's a very expert player, as you can clearly see by his positioning. He's an extremely highly skilled and high-performing individual that just got ammo racked. Of course, he's not good. Like, camping in that, nah, mate. Nah. Wash your brain. You need some help. Now, the Is7, as you can see, it's a very good tank in the right hands, and you can do really well with it. However, is the Is4 better? Or is this the Is7? Now, the Is4 is a bit slower than the Is7, which, yeah, I'm not a big fan of. However, what the Is4 also has a disadvantage in is its alpha damage. 420 instead of 460, so the Is6 wins that again. In terms of the armor, the Is4 does have thicker side armor. However, it's basically just a flat plate. So, while it has better armor and can be angled easier, what I meant earlier with the Is7 having better side armor is that it's harder to gauge whether you can pen the part of the Is7 or not. With this one, you either pen, you don't pen. With the Is7, a lot of cases, you simply don't know unless you shoot at it. Now, at this point, it's 1.5 minutes in. Obviously, the driving sequence at the beginning of the battle is boring, so we'll skip that. And we're down to 4 people. At this point, I'm very much into, okay, I'll try to do as much damage as possible before I'll get out of here mode. You know? Because the way to win battles, the easiest way to win battles is to take map control, right? Because the maps are designed to be fought in the middle, right? If you don't take the middle and you gift the middle to the enemy, they have an automatic advantage if you sit in the back and camp, which is exactly what's happening here. Now, at this point, losing a lot of hit points against this E75 here, not really doing it as good as it could have been done here against the E75, but then again, the E75 is a very good tier 9 tank with solid front armor. It's also higher than the Is4, and it's a very solid vehicle. Now, obviously, at this point, 3 versus 5. I'm still brawling the C75, which I'm not a big fan of stuff like this. Like, I always prefer outplaying people based on the map and all those kind of things, rather than just sit in front of them and brawling with them. Now, obviously, can do that as well, but it's not something that I'm big of a fan of. Now you can see the turret armor of the Is4 in action as well. Just bounces off. And now he's trying to get away, right? He wants to get a shot down into my upper plate. That's the big problem with a tank like this, you know? Because it's a very low down vehicle and you have an angled upper plate. If you have a tank that is higher than you, that can fire down into your upper plate and essentially get rid of the angled armor there. Now, at this point, I'm in a 1v3, which is not very nice. Obviously, and 418 HP, and I also know that the enemy Is4 is full HP. Now, however, the best way to carry is to have incompetent enemies. And this T7 Heavy here is not thinking either. He doesn't have heat loaded, or he doesn't know how to use it. And also the Is4 bounces off my rear, as you can see right there. And the 260 bounces off my side. I should be dead here. I should instantly be dead here. Now, at this point, I know T57 Heavy is reloading. I take out the object's the bigger danger, right? Because the 57 Heavy, by the time I reload again, he won't be reloaded again yet. Now, just put a shot into him, and boom, he's gone. Very easy. Now, what happens basically here, the Is4 comes to my side, I'll go over, and then he's going to catch me. So, we'll skip that part and go straight to the fight. Now, he's pretty much full HP. I'm not, which is... something like this is almost unwinnable unless you have an enemy that is extremely incompetent. At this point, I know he's not the brightest light in the shed, which means I can do quite well. However, he doesn't really have to do much. He has to just pen one shot, either with regular ammo or 2 with heat, to make it work. Now, he already got shot twice. At this point, I have a problem though. I'm running low on heat. I only have 4 left. And you want to definitely shoot heat against an Is4. You want to have that still going. If you have AP left, you're screwed. Now, I should have aimed a bit higher there and maybe try and go for the little turret piece there, but at this point as well, I know he's reloading, so I don't want to really peek that because he can just shoot my lower plate. And he's going forward, and again, miss the slight turret bit. I don't want him to get past me, because then he can shoot me in the side and kill me pretty easily. And again, I want to close up so he can't fire into the upper plate with heat. And again, you see there's the turret weak spot, can penetrate there, and he does the same as well. And you can also shoot at the top of the tank, but in that case, like, I'm slightly below him, so shooting up there wouldn't really be a great idea. And we can shoot the other side for good measure as well. And now the Is4 has realized, wait a minute, I only have to shoot HE to finish it. And now, I'm also out of HE, which means I can't pin him anymore and have to go and back off. Slightly missed a low plate. Like, there was a couple of shots that I missed there that I could have maybe won this game. However, the Is4 has very good armor. Now, which one is better? Well, that really depends on you. Can you suffer through the Is3 and the Is8? In that case, yes, the Is7 is the better option. Or do you want the more penetration? Do you want an easier line? Then the Is4 is the better option. In terms of the armor, they've worked differently, but in the end, they have pretty much the same result. Thank you for watching. See you next one. Go.